What's up, Matt? How's it going?
What's up, man? How you
doing good. Looking back, 3-1, first 4 games, non-conference plays complete. How would you kind of evaluate your offensive line? Maybe what's been working well, what needs to improve?
I think like Coach Gus said, in the big picture, I think we've done a lot of good stuff and mostly done well. There's just little stuff, like in protections, little things that easily fixable. Just when that moment comes in the game, we need to be able to seize it as a unit, across the board.
How do you feel like the communication has worked out? A couple new guys on the offensive line, obviously, a couple transfers. How do you feel like you guys are gelling through 4 days?
It's been good. Always whenever you get new guys on the offensive line, there's a little bit of an adjustment in the communication part. But since they're out camping through these first 4 games, I think it's been pretty much 100% good.
Since he's been asked to move into play body and hip now, how would you evaluate how Sam Jack's done kicking tackle the guard?
Sam's doing a good job. He's doing a great job. Sam's one of those guys that he used to play guard back multiple years ago before he played tackle, but he's one of those guys that you can pretty much put anywhere and be confident that he's going to know what he's doing, know how to do it, put himself in the best position to succeed, and he's been doing that at guard. Hasn't really missed a beat.
Most of the running game focus was going to be on Plumlee and Bowser and Johnny this year. What elements has RJ Harvey added in the last 2 weeks?
RJ is just a tough runner, man, that hits holes and can break some tackles and run through it hard, gives it his all out there. And, if you go back last year before RJ hurt his knee, he would have been getting a bunch of carries, I think. So it's not really a surprise now that he's healthy and he's been able to grow a little bit these past couple of weeks that he is getting those carries now, but he's doing a great job.
How does the offense feel coming off this game? I mean, you guys won. That's the most important thing. You ran for a lot of yards, but you left some points on the table. Didn't score as many touchdowns as you probably wanted to. Didn't pass for many yards. So how does the offense feel after a game like that?
Just aware of the mistakes that we made and knowing we got to execute. Like Coach said, there was multiple plays. I can think of like 5 off the top of my head that, one different thing happens right here. If we just execute a little bit better, that plays a long touchdown, or that we punch that play in instead of having to kick a field goal or whatever. But just knowing the mistakes we made across the board, that's every unit in the group, everyone can improve, and making those plays when the time comes.
Pretty sure UCF's rushing offense is 5th or 6th in the country. Obviously, the offensive line was blocking for the running backs and John Rice. How much pride do you take in that? You guys are having success running the ball.
Of course, man. A lot of times before games or during games, we'll kind of have a set goal what we want to rush. And past couple weeks, I think it's been like 250, and I know last week and this week we hit it, which is always a good, sense of kind of personal pride. But that goes back, not just the blocking. That's the running backs finding the right hole. That's now that we have that part of John running the ball a lot. When he's making his reads right and hitting it good, everything just works.
You mentioned running Johnny a lot there too. How big a factor is Bowser in coming in not only in pass protect but to open up those holes as well to help you guys out?
Yeah, Bowser's great. He's like a real veteran guy. Physically, he's a freak, strong as hell, big, fast guy, and just knows what he's doing out there. So when he gets the ball, he's going to make the best of the run usually.
On long drives, it's easy to focus on how it wears out a defense, but as an offensive lineman, how did you personally feel after a 20-play drive that ate up almost 9 minutes on the clock?
We got down close to the red zone, and I think we called a timeout, or they called a timeout. We came off, and Coach Hand was like, we're 20 plays in. I was like, dang, really? So you try not to think about it. You don't really think about it, and obviously, when you're on a drive like that, you're going to get pretty tired too. But just focus on what you got to do, and you'll get off the field eventually.
What do you think about Colton Boomer?
Awesome. It's freaking awesome, man. Boomer, he's a young dude, but he came in. He's been kicking good the whole time, and now these past couple weeks he's got his opportunities. I think he sees it perfectly. I think was he 4 for 4 last week? Yeah. So he's doing a great job. You just got to keep that up.
He's a young guy, and then at punter you got an old guy, even though he's a freshman, Mitch McCarthy from Australia. What's he like, and how huge has that been, being able to flip the field?
It's been good. Yeah, the other day I was watching him, and it looked like he was getting some far ones that were actually truly flipping the field and giving defense in a better position. So having both those guys back there, some fans don't really realize, but it's a really big deal having a good kicker and punter, just because kicker's going to get you all those extra points, and the punter can really do a lot for the defense.
With this game on Saturday being the first conference game and with all the aspirations the team had, several guys before the year saying, we want to win the conference championship, we want to go out on the last lap before we leave this conference. How important is this game this weekend? How eager are you just to get out there and really show like you guys are ready to win this thing?
Yeah, like Quad said, you approach every game the same, with just the proper preparation and mental space to kind of go in there and do your best. But last year we all remember they put it on us pretty good. I don't remember the score, but it wasn't much of a game. So there's a little bit of that kind of going through everyone's bodies and minds leading up to it. And I think we're just going to prepare that much better, that much harder this week because of it.
You mentioned that SMU coming into town, Tanner Mordecai, their quarterback, getting a lot of attention. But from your point of view, defense coming in, what do you see from there? What's going to go on in the trenches this season?
Yeah, they got pretty much, I think, most, if not all, their guys back. That was in their front seven. They're an older group, experienced group of veterans, good players. They're going to be well executed, play sound defense, hit their gaps right. Whatever's called, they're going to do it right. So we just got to be on our stuff and make sure that we're following our rules, getting hats on hats, and giving the backs and quarterback the best opportunity we can.
I know he's been here since the spring, John Rice. How has the team kind of rallied around him, especially last week when you saw what he did at FAU, putting his body on the line, flipping over for a touchdown, plays like that. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. So how has the team kind of rallied around him and seeing him do the things he does?
Yeah, he's a tough guy, and he's a real leader. Like in his heart, once he came in, he didn't really have a problem getting in that leadership position and being able to rally us and say the right stuff around the team when we're breaking it down or whatever. But it's been great. I think he's getting better at it every week, getting more comfortable in that position and growing as a player too every time he steps out there.
Do offensive linemen have performance contacts?
No, I mean,
You've seen your teammates.
yeah, I see them all the time.
What did you think when you first saw the guys? Like, what do you?
They got them in the off season, and I was gonna try them, but I ended up never doing it just to see what it was like. But I guess offensive linemen can wear it. I don't think you really need it. I've never really had to look up at the sun like the DBs and receivers do, but they do look pretty sick.
Yeah.
You look pretty cool.
With red eyes, help with intimidation?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's super red too. Like you see them, right away. Like, oh yeah, it's got the red contacts on.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks,
Good
man.
luck.
Appreciate it.